welcome back to the Minion Motor Show, y'all. This is just a quick installation video for anybody out there in the interwebs, out in the world, that has a 2018 KTM 250 SX, or you can have the 125 SX, the 150, 200, 250 SX, and even the 450 SX or the SX, the 4-stroke models. Okay, because they're all relatively the same. 18 to 2021, they're relatively the same. So this bolt here, there's the chain guard here. Okay, it goes up, goes along the top of the swing arm here, wraps back around, and then comes underneath here. And then there's a bolt here for the chain guide that you gotta take out. So you take that, I think it's actually, down here at the bottom, right down here, right about where my hands are, right, my fingers are. That's where the spacer here, okay, that's where that chain, because you can see it bolts right to the frame there. Okay, so then you take that bolt out that holds the slider. You put the, first off, you gotta cut this zip tie off, take this bolt off, take this bolt off, and pull this whole plastic piece off from the frame. Okay, and then it'll expose the whole thing there. You take that bolt out, you put, it's got this metal clamp here that's got a little hook on it that clamps to the back of the frame here, so that way when you tighten this bolt down, it pinches it together and locks onto the frame. Then that bolt bolts right back into the chain guard bolt hole there. Now when you go to hold on, I'm tied up here. When you go to put the frame guard back in, I kind of did a shitty job here, as you can see, but you will have to do some trimming along here in order for this to fit, to go back onto the frame and to go around the kickstand mount there. Now I can go more into depth by actually taking this off and putting it back on, but y'all get the gist of the whole thing there. So there, I don't think I need to bore you with actually taking this thing off and putting it back on. I mean, I gotta take it off anyhow and put some Loctite in there on these bolts, or thread locker, or whatever the hell people want to call it, because people like to get all, oh my god, it's not called this, it's called that, or it's not called that, it's called this, and whatever the fuck. So it's real simple. Top bolt there with that metal clamp that clamps onto the frame there. The bolt here with the spacer, because that bolt's a lot longer, because it's got to be longer, and you need that spacer back there so it actually will be tight on the bike and be at the right angle. Because if you don't have that that spacer behind this bolt, this whole thing's gonna want to try to kick over and hit your chain there. As you can see, there's really no space there between the, like, my fingers are barely fitting in there and whatnot. So it's real simple. If anybody ever needs or wants me to do an actual whole process, I can do it. I can start the whole process backwards by taking this off, taking off the two bolts, pulling this off, and then pulling the actual kickstand off, and then putting it back on. And I'll have that bolt that you take out there, so that way you see which bolt it is. I think this is like a 10 Allen wrench. You know, I think that one down there is an 8 and a 10, or 6 and 8, or 10 and 12, something like that. Between a 6 and a 12 for the, or something like that. I don't really recall off the top of my head what size Allen. So then these here are a 6.5 millimeter bolt. You'll just need a pair of wire cutters or dikes or snippers, whatever, just to cut this zip tie off. You'll need another one to put it back on. And yeah, just make sure you tighten the top one down first, or not tighten it but snug it down so this will actually grab and stay there before you tighten this one all the way down. And then you get this one snugged up, then you can just tighten them up and down, you know, tighten them up as you need to go. So like I said, comment down in the comment section down below if y'all need or want me to do an actual proper install on this, and if you do, I'll do it. Love y'all, be safe, catch you guys on the flip side. It's fucking beer 30 for me right now. Coors Light. If you need somebody to sponsor, I'm your guy.